Right guys, you know what time of week it is. It's a Monday, it's a book review day, and this week we're doing Stephen King, The Outsider, only released last year. Very, very new, very, very modern if you will. It's not a classic. I know last time we covered Stephen King we covered The Green Mile, and I know I said I'd do more of his classics, and I will. It's just that this one caught my eye. And before I get into it, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell and get the notifications. If you're watching on another platform, Facebook, etc., don't forget, follow the link, go onto my YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell. That way you get notifications if and when I release new videos. And otherwise it's just me babbling to myself about books, and as content as I am with that, I'd much rather it be a situation where you guys are actually conversing and letting me know what books you want to see me do, and let me know what you think of the books that I'm reviewing, so I'm not just talking to myself. That out of the way, this one caught my eye because the blurb on it, I'll just read you the blurb. A horrifying crime, watertight evidence points to a single suspect, except he was 70 miles away with an ironclad alibi. Detective Anderson sets out to investigate the impossible. How can the suspect have been both at the scene of the crime and in another town? So it's framed as sort of a murder mystery or a crime thriller type novel. And it was really quite intriguing to think Stephen King doing murder mystery. And that's what caught my eye about it. I thought, well, I've never ever seen, I don't think, a Stephen King murder mystery book before, or a Stephen King crime thriller before. So I thought I'll pick it up, I'll read it, I'll see what he's got to say for himself and how he frames himself in this genre. And he did quite well. The first half of the book is, or the first sort of 2/3 of the book is crime thriller. It is framed as an actual crime detective thriller, trying to figure out how this man could have killed someone and been somewhere else at the same time. The man in question, Terry Maitland, has got, as it says on the back, an ironclad alibi. He has got video footage. He's got half a dozen witnesses that say he was with them during the time the murder happened. And on the other hand, the detectives and the police have got DNA evidence, blood stains of him or from him at the scene of the crime. They've got fingerprints at the scene of the crime, and in other places that are linked to the crime. They've got eyewitnesses who says that they see him with the victim at this time, and they see him covered in blood at this time, etc., etc. So they've got hard proof, he's got a hard alibi, and it's all about the police trying to figure out how could he have been two places at once. 2/3 of the book, 2/3 into the book, shall I say, trying not to spoil anything, I'll try and keep it as spoiler-free as I can. The book shifts tone and it becomes a horror, Stephen King classical horror, and it is very, very fascinating to see the sudden. It's quite sudden as well. It's not gradual. It's quite a quick snap to a horror genre, and it's done quite smoothly, and it's very, very well done. And Stephen King thrives, I believe, I've said this before, on his characters, and the characters he builds here and the characters he builds up and presents here are very, very strong. Detective Anderson is the brash detective who's sort of emotionally charged, and the opening scene in the book is them arresting the suspect at a baseball game in front of 2,000 people, because Detective Anderson has an emotional connection with the suspect, and he feels that it should be exhibited, that this man did something horrendous and he's going to parade it in front of the whole town. So it's quite emotionally charged. You've got the bureaucratic boss that no one really likes, he's thrown in there. You've got the supporting wives of a few detectives in there. You've got the brash lawyer who's going to come in, he's going to charge around, he's going to, how dare you interview my client, blah, blah, blah. You've got all those kind of characters in there, and it makes this brilliant dynamics, brilliant energy throughout this entire book. And it's really, really well done, really well pulled off. Now, where I have criticised Stephen King before is the ending. I've normally said his endings feel a bit rushed, like he's trying to cram a lot in and do too much with them, but he ended this book quite well. Again, keeping it spoiler free for you guys, he ended it quite reasonably well. It was well pulled off. This book was well structured, well pulled off. The switch from a crime thriller to a horror was really well done. The horror aspect, I think, is the better side of the book, the more entertaining side of the book, and it was brilliantly well done. Even the crime thriller side of the book is intriguing. It was one of those books where, even if I was at work or I was laying awake after bedtime, sort of 11, 12 at night, or I was somewhere where I knew I couldn't read. I wanted to read. I wanted to get hold of this and keep going. It's one of those books, and that's how you can tell a great book. That's how you can tell a great author. They make you want to come back and get more. I've been reading this book, walking down the street. In one hand, walking down the street, using my peripheral vision to see what's around me, and that's dangerous, okay? So go ahead and pick that up, because I think this has potential to be one of Stephen King's modern day classics. I also think, and I was a bit dubious about saying this, but I also think this has the potential to be a phenomenal movie. Brilliant movie, if it's executed correctly. Because a lot of people take books and they make movies out of them, and they don't do it quite right. I know Stephen King's got his feelings about The Shining in particular. He said it was like a giant, great, big, beautiful Cadillac or something with no engine. So if this was done well, a la The Green Mile, this would make a brilliant, brilliant horror / detective movie. So go ahead and read that. That was a brilliant read. One of my favourite Stephen Kings so far, I think. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell. If you're not watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook or something else, follow the link, go to the YouTube channel and subscribe and hit the bell, and you will get notifications to your phone, to your smart device or whatever it is, telling you that I've uploaded new videos, and then you can be fresh on it and you can be commenting and getting involved as quickly as possible. So thanks for watching. That was Stephen King, The Outsider, and I'll see you in the next video.